Hi everybody, and welcome back to the question of the week. This week's question is, what shoes should I wear if I'm wanting to run? I want to make sure that you have the tools to get you started, so we're gonna jump right into it. The most important thing is that you have a shoe that's supportive, right? So if you're trying to run in a shoe that's really flexible or really not going to support your foot, it's unstable, that's where you're gonna have problems. You want a shoe that gives you a little bit of cushion throughout and that you can't bend in half easily. So when I say bend in half, I don't mean like this, that's totally fine. You want to make sure that your shoe is flexible in the forefoot so that you can run comfortably and roll off your toes. So this would be an appropriate shoe that I would start most people in for running. What I don't like to see typically is a shoe like this that you can kind of just fold up into a ball. And the reason I don't like those, especially if you're new to running, is because it's not going to give you much cushion at all. So if you're starting to build mileage and you're not used to running at all, this could be pretty uncomfortable. There are a lot of people who do prefer to run in a shoe like this that's pretty flat and what is considered a minimal shoe or minimalist shoe. And that's totally fine, but if you are unsure of what's best for you, it's always a good idea to start right in the middle. This is another pair that's similar. This is New Balance as well, but these are a little bit more stiff than the ones I showed you before, the blue ones. You want to start with a shoe that's comfortable for you to walk around in, and don't just buy them online without testing them out. You want to put them on your feet, jog around in them in the store or in the parking lot outside the store, and it's always best to get some help and have people take a look at how you're running. Another thing to consider when looking for running shoes is, what does the distance from the heel to the toe look like? That's called the heel-toe drop or the offset. It's important to know what that is, because if you have a history of Achilles tendon issues or general impact related issues where you need, a little bit more cushion at the heel to alleviate that tension, having a shoe like this that the toe and the heel are at the same level, that's going to cause you some problems because you're overstretching that Achilles every time you hit the floor and you're not getting that nice little lift in the heel. So consider what your injuries are prior to buying your shoes, and let the person at the store also know what your injuries are, because they'll adjust which shoes are more appropriate for you based on that. As far as specific brands, right here I have two pairs of New Balance. New Balance is a great brand, very common, a lot of people like it. They have shoes that are considered neutral for every foot type. They're kind of right in the middle of the road. They have a lot of cushion or a little cushion. Another one that I like personally for a lot of my people who are prone to injury is Hoka, and it's called Hoka 1-1, and that's a pretty common one. They started out with what's considered a maximalist shoe with a ton of cushion, and now they've scaled it back to a little bit more of a normal looking shoe. Other brands that are super common are Adidas, Asics, Nike. On Cloud is making a lot of shoes now. They're coming up a little bit more. Under Armour has some shoes. Reebok and Puma are coming out with some new ones as well. But the most common would be New Balance, Adidas, Asics. Mizuno is another one. Brooks has a really popular line of shoes that are very popular. But other than that, look for a shoe that is supportive, comfortable, has a little bit of cushion. And if you ever have any additional questions, you can ask whoever's working at the running store. I recommend the local running stores. They tend to be very knowledgeable. But beyond that, you can always come in and ask us, because we are more than happy to screen you for what you might be most appropriate for, especially if you feel that your foot is slipping in or out a little bit more every time you run. That's it for this week, but please make sure you follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and if you ever have questions, give us a call or send us an email.